Good afternoon, gamers. My name is KarQ. We have a new Director's Take article this week from the game director, Aaron Keller. The article is called Overwatch Your Way, in which Aaron Keller explains the team's focus on features that encourage player choice, gameplay customization, and building a tailored experience. Kind of like what, I guess, their mindset is regarding that. So let's get into it here. Aaron opened up with, "Hey y'all, hope you're having a great time with Season 17, spending time with your squad, exploring the alleys of Atlas, and the mean streets of Stadium. To us, the Overwatch experience is at its best when it gives you the tools to shape your own gameplay. Whether you're customizing your hero mid-match or deciding which rewards to grind for, we want Overwatch to feel more like a toolkit than an instruction manual. It should be something you can explore, experiment with, and make your own." Over the last year, we put a lot of focus into expanding that toolkit and implementing new ways to customize your playtime. Today, I want to talk about what we've done and what's coming next, and how it all ties back to that all-important sense of player agency. We believe that giving you more agency leads to a better game, one that feels more personal, more strategic, and more rewarding. We want you to feel as if you have some ownership in the direction the game takes and how you experience it. Next subheading says, "What you play." Player choice is a guiding principle for us, but it wasn't always central to how we built Overwatch. At launch, so I guess they're referencing 2016, the only game mode available was quick play. We later added competitive for a greater challenge. I recall they added competitive like a month or two later after the game came out. These two modes created a simple and effective system, but we knew Overwatch could grow beyond those limitations. These days, you have many more options to choose from, including both ranked and unranked 6v6 queues, as well as our newest mode, Stadium. Those additions demonstrate the delicate balance we're always trying to hit, listening to what players are asking for, while also finding moments to surprise you with innovative ways to dive in. So right now, Overwatch has 5 main ways to play, with the 6th, which is unranked Stadium, coming in Season 18. They have 5 main ways to play, so what is that? Unranked, ranked 5v5, unranked 6v6, ranked 6v6, Stadium, unranked, and I guess ranked Stadium, and they have all their arcade modes, mystery heroes, and all that fun stuff, right? So player choice starts with deciding what kind of Overwatch experience you're looking for, and we think this current mix hits a sweet spot. There's something fun for just about every kind of player, from the most casual beginners to high-skill strategists, and if you're someone who likes to bounce between modes, that's covered too. That said, having lots of choices is great until you start to get winded, picking what to order off the metaphorical menu. So I assume it's like the Cheesecake Factory problem, where you go to the restaurant and there's like 100 items to choose from. The paradox of choice is I guess what Aaron is alluding to. When you look at all the other ways to play, like arcade modes or Hero Mastery, is anybody even still playing Hero Mastery? Things are starting to seem a little cluttered. We're planning to take a fresh look at all of Overwatch's offerings to see where we can simplify and streamline, such as improving navigation between screens or a revamped arcade experience. The goal is to make it easier to find what you love and to focus our support where it matters most. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is that they're actually going to remove some modes that are probably like very, very unpopular. They probably get picked like 0.1% of the player base plays. Probably stuff like those, if you go to the arcade, there's probably like 8 possible game modes, stuff that probably doesn't fill up the queues fast enough. How you play is the next subheading here. Mode choice is just the beginning. Some of the most meaningful decisions happen once you're in the game, which is where a lot of our recent features come into play. Perks let you choose how your hero plays during a match and can be used to strategically counter an enemy team or player. The new hero bands and the map voting system gives you more opportunities to decide what kind of match you're walking into. And the Stadium Armory lets you reshape how a hero works in that mode, encouraging you to push abilities and counter strategy to the limit. Now, these kinds of systems allow more room for creativity, strategy, and personal expression. They also add a layer of depth we felt Overwatch was missing and gives us more ways to keep things fresh from season to season. On that note, we have a big update to perks coming in Season 18. Season 18 is probably slated for early September, guys. And we're already thinking about what else we can do to give players more control mid-match. This kind of work is tricky. We want to offer more meaningful choices, increase strategy and depth, and really deliver on the power fantasy of each hero. But adding all of that can easily make the game feel too complex. Our goal is to find smart, seamless ways to bring more choice into moment-to-moment gameplay, ideally, without stacking on new systems or adding friction for players. Okay, before I keep going on, I somewhat agree with this, but I think they're focusing too much on the new player experience here. Like, I don't feel like the game is that complex or the choice is too much right now. I don't feel it's overwhelming at all, but I also come from a perspective of playing the game for so many years. And I think you run into problems when you start neutering or nuking down systems to make things more seamless. That is exactly what they did at the beginning of Overwatch 2, where they're like, oh, we're gonna get a bunch of new players. Let's make things more seamless and less complicated by removing the on-fire system, removing the post-game upvoting cards and the medal system. They removed so many of those things that used to make Overwatch like feel more vibrant and more, I think they call it tonal painting. These kinds of little like dopamine, small little dopamine hits that make things feel good, like progression, sorry, and like levels and like your diamond borders. They removed all that for the same philosophy as they're kind of saying right now, where it's like, we want to make it more without complicating things. But it's like, I'll let them cook and see what they mean by this if they hopefully explain themselves. But for now, do you guys feel like this game is too complex? Like, I don't think so. But anyways, I digress. Let's move on. Just wanted to add my little small opinion piece here that I'm slightly worried, but I'll leave it for now and see what they come up with. Why you play. Choice doesn't stop when a match ends. One of the most meaningful areas of player agency includes all the ways you tailor your experience outside of active matches through progression, rewards, and connecting with others. So our team is taking the first steps towards long-term improvements in this area in Season 18 by making changes and adding meaningful rewards to our progression system. Rather than overhaul big systems like progression and hopefully not remove it, we're looking to build gradually by adding more ways for you to earn cool stuff, chase your chosen goals, and feel rewarded for your time. A good example of this was the recent reintroduction of loot boxes. We also heard that you're missing certain features that brought personality, that's the word I was looking for earlier, to matches, like the old end of match voting cards. Even though you can't be hailed as the MVP every game, that kind of social expression matters, and we may have some ideas on how that could return. We're also looking at changes to the endorsement system and iterating other ways players can recognize and interact with one another in positive, supportive ways. At the end of the day, our goal is to give you the freedom to engage with Overwatch in the way that fits you best, to support those choices with solid and meaningful rewards. We don't make these decisions in a vacuum. We're always listening. Our community teams scour social channels and forums. We run surveys in and out of the game. Our analysts keep tabs on player choices and how you're voting with your time. And yes, we play Overwatch 2. Overwatch, 2, TOO, not if you're listening to this. Yes, we play Overwatch 2, not the number. All of these methods help us understand how you're using the tools we've built and what else we can do to add to the kit. We'll keep listening, keep evolving, and keep adding ways to make Overwatch yours. Thanks for reading. Let's make a great game. Okay, so they kind of tacked on that they're not going to keep neutering or removing systems that like don't make anything more complex. I guess what they were alluding to about simplifying and making things not too complex for new players is other systems. But like, I think the socials status, is that the word they're using, of that sort of expression and reward for your time actually means more than people think. And when they removed that in Overwatch 2, you could feel it. You didn't realize it until like you play something else that has it. For example, when I played Marvel Rivals in December, January, early on, and the Lord portrait, that sort of social expression to be like, hey, I have X amount of hours on this hero and my portrait changes. That means something to people and it feels cool to show off. When they got rid of like your diamond border and stuff like that in early Overwatch 2, for those who don't know, like if you played a lot and you leveled up, your border color changes. And current progression system in Overwatch, it doesn't mean anything because no one understands it and you can't see it unless you go into their profile. Because right now you have a progression for your heroes and like that, you know, the bronze circle and like the green square or the purple triangle, like whatever the hell that shit means. Like nobody cares because nobody can see it. There's no social status attached to it. And they need a way, which seems like they are adding ways to make it feel more rewarding, whether it's like a Lord portrait's similarity to the Marvel stuff, or another way to express that you have X amount of playtime on a certain hero. Maybe if I like sleep 1,000 people with Ana, my sleep dart gun changes slightly. Like that sort of expression means a lot to players, and I hope they kind of work on that a bit more. You know what I mean? If you guys have any suggestions on things to make, you know, the reward system for your time feel good, let me know in the comments too. We'd love to take some of your suggestions because we do a series on the channel called Suggestions Box whenever I can, whenever I remember to, and whenever there's like a good influx of good suggestions to the game. Hopefully we can take a look at some of these comments in another video. So let me have it down below, and thanks for listening to me yap. Bye-bye.